Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Peggy Smedley Show, the voice of M2M and connected devices.
Our next guest is from a company that is clearly at the forefront of technological innovation. It has a host of products for consumers and professionals alike. Please join me in welcoming Stephen Sneeden, Xperia Product Marketing Manager for Sony Mobile. Stephen, welcome to the show. I have to tell you, I am thrilled here to talk to you today because, you know, I am all over what you guys do. And you know what? Our show that we're going to be doing in February talks all about what you guys do. So I'm ecstatic right now. And you know what? You just have to tell me all about. I'm looking at these products in front of me. I'm like jumping all about because I'm seeing the watches. I'm seeing fitness, mobility. I'm seeing a phone. And it is just like so exciting. I mean, look at this. You just go, man, go. Just keep talking because I'm like a kid in a candy store right now.
Well, thank you, Peggy. What a wonderful lead-in.
I love the gadgets. It's just, you guys are awesome.
I almost don't know where to start, but why don't we start with the big announcement about our smartphone for T-Mobile.
Oh, go
and
for
that's
it. And we had T-Mobile on earlier. So
excellent.
Oh, we did.
We love how T-Mobile's kind of shaking things up.
Oh, aren't they? They're fun.
They're a fun partner to work with, and I think they meld well with our kind of challenger kind of attitude, too. So for T-Mobile, in 2013, we launched the Xperia Z with them. And this year, we followed it up with the Xperia Z1S. And so rather than departing from a lot of the really good themes that we established there, we're really evolving them. So, for example, the tagline for the product is that you have the best camera in a waterproof smartphone. With the Xperia Z, we called it water resistant because it was at IP7 rating, which is pretty good, down to 3 feet in fresh water for up to 30 minutes.
Not to interrupt, talk about so a listener understands the ratings, what that means for the average person who's trying to understand
that. An IP rating, it will generally have 2 digits. So, for example, the Xperia Z was IP57. The first one, the 5 rating, is for dust ingress. Okay. So if dust particles get in, it's protected against that. The second digit, and again with the Xperia Z, the IP57, was for water ingress. And that rating means, again, you put it down for to a depth of up to 3 feet for up to 30 minutes, and water won't get in as long as you kept the port sealed. So now, with the Xperia Z1S, the new product coming to T-Mobile, we achieve a higher rating, IP58. And now what the 8 means is that you can take it deeper in fresh water, down to almost 5 feet, 4.9 feet, for up to 30 minutes. But in addition to that, in addition to the rating, what we've done is a few other things that enhance the waterproof capability. The earphone jack is now open and waterproof.
Which is big with when it's open. You're talking about that.
Yeah, so think about it. You're by the pool and you have your wired headset and it drops in the pool. You get caught in the rain. No problem now. Because that is open but waterproof. And again, look over here. Another difference is we've reintroduced a real hardware camera key.
I'm looking at this product, you guys, and it's pretty cool. And I'm telling you, we've been talking about products. I've been looking at all. It's sleek. It's nice. It's pretty. It's nice. And you know what? How many of you have dropped it in the pool, dropped it in the lake, and you go, I'm going to put it in rice, and it's going to work, and it doesn't? You know, you've dropped it, you've left it in your pants, and you washed it. I know you've all been there. I'm telling you. I know what you're thinking.
Or you've dropped it someplace even worse.
Yeah, let's not go. Because what happens? How many of I told you take your phones in most inappropriate places? In the restroom, most of you, when I give talks, you raise your hand, and you have said you've taken it into the restroom. So, yes, you're right.
So, with that real camera key, though, now you can take photos underwater. So it's, that gives you control over the autofocus too. And we have what's called superior auto or automatic mode that launches when you launch the camera. So underwater, if it needs flash, that's going to kick in. If it's a macro shot, that's going to work as well. And of course, the camera's fantastic out of the water too.
That is fabulous. Listeners, I'm going to keep talking to these guys and convince them to show these products in February. You know what? Because this is pretty cool, and you're going to be all over this. So come on, show me what else is here. The watch is so cool right in front of us.
This is Smartwatch 2, Sony Smartwatch 2. And a real big buzzword here at CES right now is wearable technology. Well, it's interesting because Sony has been in that category before the term was even used.
Yeah.
And so we go back to 2007. We talk about watches. We co-developed watches with Fossil, Bluetooth watches that had basic notifications. I would hardly have called it a smartwatch, but it shows you that we were thinking about it way back then. And because this is smartwatch 2, that obviously means it's the second generation for us. So we had, for a while, the original smartwatch. We learned a lot of lessons from that. The premise of it was really good, that you have a host of applications to do all sorts of things related to the smartphone. Social media, controlling your music, your fitness sessions, getting the weather and things like that. But we had some work to do on the hardware, so we made vast improvements of that with Smartwatch 2. So, for example, it's very visible in bright daylight. I've taken it out into the desert, really in Phoenix at noon, and it performs brilliantly. It's also water resistant too, so it's at the IP57 rating. It has NFC embedded into it for easy one-touch connectivity. And talking about the number of applications, in the U.S. it's now available on Google Play. It's about 250 applications. Globally, it's about 300. But that's a host of applications because we've already been there. We've worked with the developers. We already had a base of apps, so it was easy to port to the larger screen for the new Smartwatch 2.
It's nice, listeners. I'm telling you, I'm looking at it, I'm feeling it. You're going to like it. So what do we got here? What's this little goodie?
This is a wonderful stereo Bluetooth headset. It's called the SBH80. And what I love about this, and I don't use a mono headset because phone calls are low on what I actually do with a smartphone. So I have to have a stereo Bluetooth headset. And what's great about this is it fits on the back of your neck, and it's curved and it stays in place. Now I'm going to jump up and down a little bit. Hope I don't knock over the mic. But you see it stays in place even when you're running or jogging. Oh, and I stepped away from the mic, didn't I? We're on radio. But it stays in place. It's so comfortable that you hardly even notice that it's there, and it doesn't get tangled in your lapels or anything. But when you need it, you put the earbuds in, and you've got some really handy controls here. On one side, you got the aluminum button for your call functions to answer and end calls and your volume. And on the other side, you've got the music controls here to skip tracks and play and pause.
Only Sony could come up with these great ideas. And that's a nice looking piece, too.
Oh, we're talking about NFC? This has NFC, too.
Oh, my goodness. Listeners, we're talking about all the things we're going to be doing in February with NFC. This is pretty impressive. All right, so talk about this one now.
Okay, now talking about wearable technology. At Sony, we're taking it in different directions, different approaches. And so we're calling it smartwear. In smart wearables, but with smartwear we have first child the smart band. So one approach is with Smartwatch 2, right? All those applications that we talked about in the remote screen. But here we have on your wrist the smart band. But smart band is actually a misnomer, I think, because at the heart of it is a removable module that we call the core.
Look at that.
And so because it's removable, first you can get really fashionable. Fashion designers can come up with all sorts of styles and stuff for the bands, but it doesn't have to be a band. So maybe we come up with a pendant to wear it, or maybe it's in a foot pod. On the booth, we have a concept of it being in a tennis racket so that you can get information on how you're serving and the accuracy of your tennis action.
Like what Babolat's just come out with, a connected tennis racket.
So now it's more than just the fitness, though, because it has a relationship with the smartphone. And when we talk about life logging, so your pedestrian activities, running and walking, that's all there, and monitoring your sleep patterns and such. But because you have different types of sensors between the core and the smartphone, like GPS and a camera, in the smartphone, you can take advantage of different technologies with a master application in the smartphone. So, in addition to those little fitness applications, you can also keep a record of all the photos that you've taken each day and your social media interactions and communications and things like that.
So you want to put this almost in any device and let anybody come up with whatever they want to create. So it doesn't matter. The sky's the limit. You guys are amazing. Look at that. You guys should see this. It's this little thing. And it could go into almost anything.
It is the smallest Sony mobile product to date.
I was going to say, what is the size of this?
I don't know, but it's teeny tiny.
Yeah,
it's almost edible size. But let me caution you: do not eat it.
It's about the size of a mint. You're right. Yeah. It's about the size of a little chocolate
And this
bag,
has NFC also, and this is waterproof at the IP8 rating.
I am telling you, this is fantastic. You guys are wowing me already. And Sony You never cease to amaze me. And what's amazing is you guys are doing just incredible things with products on the market. And all of this is being unveiled here at CES.
Yep, everything we talked about. Now, when we talk about the Core and the Smart Band, this is something that we're teasing folks with here at CES. When we go to our next major trade show at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona in February, you'll see how we fully play this out. So we're not talking about exact market availability timing and things like that. We anticipated coming in the spring, but you're going to see that really roll out. Now, the really big announcement for the U.S., of course, is to go back to the Xperia Z1S for T-Mobile. That's going to come being available online at T-Mobile on January 13th. And then on January 22nd, it starts becoming available in the stores.
So all of this will be available in the stores?
That's the timing for the Xperia Z1S at T-Mobile. The Smartwatch 2 is already in market.
Okay.
So you can find it at lots of places. Best Buy offers it, Amazon online, Sony, of course, Sony directly. The SBH80, the stereo Bluetooth headset, that's going to be on sale around March. So you can find that. And
this one's anybody's imagination.
And that one we'll see in the spring, but being kind of ambiguous right now on the timing.
Well, I have to tell you, I am wowed, and I'm always wowed, but you have just impressed me immensely. And not surprising, because I think you guys are doing amazing things. And I want to thank you for sharing this with listeners. I have to tell you, if you haven't seen it, go up to, where can we go to get all of this on Sony's site and see it all?
Well, go to Sony.com or SonyMobile.com.
Well, Stephen, thank you for sharing this with me. I'm thrilled. I wish you guys the best of luck here at CES, because I think you continue to innovate, and this is why. These are the great products that you bring to market, and all of us customers are the benefits of it. So thank you for sharing this with me.
Thank you, Peggy. Bye-bye.
All right, listeners, stick around. We've got a lot more to share with you here at CES. So stick around as we come to share more things with you. And you can listen to this show or any other at iHeartRadio.talk or at WSRadio.com, or always the PeggySmedleyShow.com. So stick around. We've got more to talk about. This is the Peggy Smedley Show, the voice of M2M and connected devices. We'll be right back.